Hey everybody, I'm Stacy Lynn, and today I'm cooking up something really special for you. It is a stuffed pork chop with a cane syrup Dijon glaze, and I promise you it is delicious. I'm using very thick pork chops. All right, I'm gonna make my glaze. I'm gonna add about 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. Now 3 tablespoons is just under 1/4 cup. Okay, now I'm going to use 1/4 cup of my favorite Alaga syrup. It's the original syrup and it is fantastic and it adds everything to this dish. So I used 1/4 cup and I'm going to put a little bit more for safe measure because it is delicious. A little bit of mustard. Okay, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and a few sprigs of thyme. Turn it on, and I'm going to try to reduce that just a little bit until it's really thick and luscious. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and start heating my skillet for the pork chops because you want it sizzling hot. And now I'm going to stuff the pork chops. It's got mozzarella and Parmesan cheese, some breadcrumbs, some salt and pepper, and a little bit of olive oil. And now I'm going to add some spinach leaves to it. You could add spinach, you could add basil to the mix. So I'm just mixing that up in there just a little bit. And then with my thick pork chops, I want the bone-in pork chops, and I'm going to cut right along the fatty side all the way in. But you're going to not cut through it, all the way through it. You're going to leave a little bit because you want it to stay attached. Okay, so I'm just cutting it like I'm cutting sandwich bread to put food in the middle of the sandwich. Okay, so there, I've done that. Okay, so you'll stuff it to its capacity, and then you'll stick a couple of toothpicks through it so that your mozzarella doesn't end up on the pan and it can end up in your mouth because you're going to want that. I'm going to wash my hands, be right back. Okay, so I'm going to add liberally salt and pepper to both sides of this pork chop. And actually I'll do the other side when I put it down in the skillet. I'm going to go ahead and turn my skillet up to high heat now. And so I'm going to put a little bit of pepper also on the top of this pork chop. I know that the salt looks excessive, but I promise you, you will not regret it. Well, unless you have high blood pressure, then you might not should do it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that down, and you get to hear that nice sizzle. It's beautiful. Okay, and I'm going to let these two sit for about 4 to 5 minutes just on that one side. I will go ahead and sprinkle a little bit more salt and get that ready for when we flip it, and a little pepper. I'll probably add a little bit of hot pepper flakes to my reduction sauce because it's going to make it wonderful. Okay, it's time to flip these beauties. And you'll notice that I put this in a dry skillet. You can put a little bit of butter, but I find that they brown better if you just go ahead and put them straight down in a seasoned cast iron skillet. Okay, now I'm going to put glaze all over the outside of the done side of this. So then when the other side browns, I'm going to flip it over and put the sauce on it. And then we'll be putting it in a preheated 400-degree oven. I'm going to brown the sides just a little bit. Okay, hopefully none of my filling will fall out. Put it right into the oven. Look at how pretty that is. Ooh, that looks good. It is beautiful. And here we have a mozzarella and spinach stuffed pork chop with a cane syrup Dijon glaze. Y'all, I cannot wait to dig in.